I believe that you were the captain of the Trinidad and Tobago hockey team, field hockey team.
Correct. Yes, I was a captain for a few years, for 10 tours, spanning from 2007 to 2017, when I retired.
What? So when did you become captain?
Vice captain started in 2007. This is for the Caribbean Cup. On my return from the United States after playing with the college team. So started off there 2007 under Stacey Stewart. She was the captain, I was the vice captain. And then from there, 2 years after, when we attended the Pan American Cup in Bermuda, I was made captain. And then it just continued until then, with a few breaks in between, taking some time off to have a family, pregnancy here, pregnancy there, but always coming back on the leadership helm.
Okay, have you captained any of your club teams?
Yes, so I was the captain of the Checkers Hockey Club for a few years. Started off very young, actually, the age of 17, and had a few years of being the captain there before I picked up the scholarship to go to the States.
That's quite young to be the captain of a team, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it was. It was an honor, but it was a great again, a great debut. I mean, not coming fully green, because I was also the captain of my high school team for quite a few years. So I guess going into the club level, they would have seen some type of that leadership qualities and gave me a chance to lead and to develop.
What did you learn in that time? What did you?
Oh boy!
Before.
To be outspoken and have a voice, because at the age of 17, you're at the leadership, you're leading adults, women who have been playing club hockey for quite a while. So they've been in the game, who have been on national teams, So my club team had a lot of national players. So you're coming and dealing with a lot of players with experience. So for me, it was finding my voice, finding my style, while not being intimidated and just being open to growth and even criticism. It was a really, really great period for me. I think it was good just to set me off to lead future teams.
How did the older players take it?
How did they? Older players?
What was that relationship like with? Was there a player who thought that she should have been captain or something like this, or?
So they were actually very supportive. I think very supportive and even happy or pleased to have a break. Being captain, as we know, could take a toll, right? It's a lot of responsibility. So I think they were happy to see me lead, happy to get a break, happy for new blood, fresh blood, because they were in the process of building a team. So they just got an influx of youth players. So I think having a youth player at the head would have been a good look and a good feel for the youth coming in, a nice balance between the older one and experience and the youth players coming in, and just being able to mesh with the team. So it was I was placed there, I think, for a very good reason.
So that was for your club in Trinidad?
Correct, yes.
Are there differences, are there similarities between captaining a club side and captaining a national team?
Oh yeah, differences for sure. Because with the club team, it's a more casual, for lack of a better word, casual environment. So where you practice once a week, you meet on weekends, every other weekend to play a game, and so your role really just takes place on the field. Before the game, have a team talk, assist with the warm up, and then on the field you take it from there. With the national team, it's an ongoing thing. You're on all the time. You're called to be a leader on the field and off the field, no breaks. That's one of the major differences. In terms of similarities, for me, it was interacting with adults, women older than I am, that I was at that point in time. So I think then it was the same style, getting to find your feet, to, figure out how to interact with each personality. Because again, with every team, there's different personalities. So regardless of the team you go in, you're going to find at least 3 or 4 different personalities. So interacting with them was more or less the same from the club to the national level.
In the UK, the club captain, especially at my sort of level, the lower levels, is as much of an administrator as a leader. It's trying to get a team out, it's filling out match reports, so on and so forth. is that the same in the Caribbean? How much of it is actually just maintaining a league team?
Yeah, so over the years, it has been the captain has taken on a lot more in the club level, especially in the female side of it. You find that as females get along in the sport, they tend to not stay. You know, they get pulled with other commitments. So the role of the captain now comes to try and keep them together, to really work on building that team, that off the field bond, so that you get them to commit to staying on and playing with the team, right? You get also a lot of administrative stuff coming in as well, where you're responsible for calling to check to make sure that you have a full roster before the game. So in that light, the administrative role has increased. Back when I was doing it, though, you found that you still had a lot of the players are wrong. The older players were there, always wanting to help, so they couldn't play, but they were very instrumental in getting the team ready, from getting the coolers and the ice and the uniforms. So back then, I had a lot of help. Starting at 17 years, but now so you'd find that the administrative duties are a lot more. You have to pull your weight again to ensure that you keep the team alive and going.
Is that the same for the national team, do you think?
Not so much with the national team. Again, we have the managers there. Of course, with the national team, it's an honor to play for your country. So you'd find that the ones that are there are committed. So the onus isn't so much on ensuring that you keep the team together. It's just ensuring that you build the bond and you build a deeper bond. It's about ensuring that you start, maintain, and continue a nice team culture, which would translate very nicely when you're on the field playing for each other.
Years in the 9 years between you becoming captain of your club team and becoming captain of your national team, what did you learn about leadership? What did you learn about being a captain?
People. It's all about relationship and building that relationship with your teammates. So during that time, I was also nominated captain for my college team. So they normally choose the captains from the senior players. So my senior year, I was nominated along with another teammate because there was a co-captain. So the two captains for each year. So during that time, I learned a lot about differences in cultures and the influence of cultures and personalities. So it just added to my plate the experience that I needed to deal with different personalities on each team. In addition to that, was just again getting to know the individual, getting to know your teammates and have a relationship with them, so that when you're leading, you're understanding why you're leading. We understand what makes this person tick, what gets this person going, what takes this person out of the game. So during that time, it was a lot of just again relationship and the part that relationship plays in captaincy and leadership.